She is a 30-something-year-old woman. She has no criminal history whatsoever. She is gainfully employed. She has some college. She has no known gang associations or ties. So that's who witness number 1 is. So she said after she stopped to let him eat his food, he put on a shirt and he walked away. He said, "Don't move, I'll be right back." According to her, she didn't know where he was going or what he was going to do. He walked off in the direction back through this alley toward the parking lot. And from where she was, she could not see into the parking lot, but she saw him walk down this alley. She saw him place his food container on the top, on the hood of a car, and continued walking. A few moments later, she heard gunshots. She heard 2 shots. After hearing 2 shots, she saw people running. Holder had, in that time period, walked over between 2 parked cars in front of the store. In between these 2 cars was Mr. Askedam. He was talking to Mr. Lathan. Immediately behind them was Shermy Villanueva and another gentleman who will be called Rimpau. When he opened fire, fired multiple shots. Mr. Askedam and Mr. Lathan immediately both fell to the ground. Mr. Villanueva was struck in the abdomen, but managed to get away from the gunfire. Mr. Holder was firing with 2 different handguns, trading between his right and his left hand, and then he made his way out of the alley back to the car, which then took off. As I said, this was all captured by several cameras that will be discussed. Keep in mind that the times on the cameras are not accurate. Camera 6, for example, will be 67 minutes off. So I'll be referring to the times imprinted on the camera, but that time won't be the actual time of events. And we'll have witnesses come in to testify whether the cameras were faster or slower, and the camera from 58th place. So that's it. We're ready to get started if you are. I thank you for your time and your attention. At the end, we're going to ask you to consider 6 criminal counts, 1 count of murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, 2 lesser related counts of assault with a firearm. Those 2 counts are related to the 2 attempted murders, and I'll explain that more when we get to the closing statement of why he did that and what we're asking you to find there. And then 1 count of felon in possession of a firearm. Thank you. Thank you. The grand jurors are admonished and advised that the 4-person statements as well as the opening statement by Mr. McKinney are not evidence and are not to be considered as evidence. And Mr. McKinney, at this time, would you request of the 4-person that your exhibits 1 through 42 be marked? Yes. Madam 4-person, so marked? So marked. Thank you. Your first witness, the people call Mr. Alejandro Guerrero. And Mr. Sergeant at Arms, if you would please call for Mr. Alejandro Guerrero. The witness entered the grand jury hearing room. Sir, if you'll stand next to that flag, you're going to raise your right hand and you're going to face the 4-person right there, and she's going to swear you in. Alejandro Guerrero, called as a witness before the grand jury of the County of Los Angeles, was sworn and testified as follows. Do you solemnly state that the evidence you shall give in this matter, now pending before the grand jury of the County of Los Angeles, shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes, I do. Thank you so much. Go ahead and take that seat. Good morning. Good morning. Can you adjust that microphone? You can pull it towards you so you can speak directly into the microphone. Okay. Did you leave your cell phone outside? Yes. Do you have any recording devices on you? No. Please tell us your full name and then spell your full name for the record. My full name's Alejandro Guerrero. Alejandro is spelled Alejandro. Guerrero, it's Guerrero. Thank you. Madam 4-person, with your permission, May I, Mr. McKinney, proceed? Yes. Examination by Mr. McKinney. Good morning. Good morning, sir. Please tell us your occupation. Good morning. Police officer for the Los Angeles Police Department. How long have you been a peace officer? I've been a police officer approximately 5 years. What was your assignment on March 31st, 2019? I was working 77th Division Patrol. Were you working alone or with someone? I was working with someone, my partner, Officer Yepes. Were you the driver or the passenger officer? I was a driver officer. Can you spell your partner's name, please? It's Yepes, spelled Y-E-P-E-Z. First name, it's Reynaldo. It's R-E-Y-N-A-L-D-O. Thank you so much. Go ahead. Did you and your partner go to the area of 3420 Slauson Avenue? Yes. Approximately what time did you go to that area on that day? We received a radio call of a shooting. It was approximately at 1520 hours. 1520 is what time? 3:20 in the afternoon. Okay, you went to that area because you get a call of a shooting. Yes, sir. Calling your attention to the grand jury exhibit number 4. And, Madam Foreperson, if you could please raise the monitor for the witness. Perfect. Do you recognize the area shown on this exhibit? Yes, sir. How do you recognize it? That's the location where the shooting occurred. Is that the area you went to that afternoon? Yes, sir. It's 3420 West Slauson Avenue. And tell us what you did and what you saw when you first arrived. So we were the primary unit that received the ADW shooting call. So we were, I don't know if there's you want a pointer? Yeah. Can I get a pointer? Okay. Now you don't have to point this at that screen. Okay. So top button, just hold it. No, the other way. Sorry. So press it and then you'll figure out how to use it. Okay. So we were the first unit responding on scene. So right there where I'm pointing at, that's where we initially parked. Me and my partner exited our vehicles. You hit a different button. Sorry. We exited our vehicles and we walked in that direction, right there. And we initially saw 3 victims of a shooting. We tried to I'm sorry, officer, if you could just tell us what you saw. Okay. You're saying we, the royal we. But if you can just testify as to what you saw. Okay. So right there, I exited my vehicle. As I walked in that direction, I saw 3 people that were struck by gunshots. After I noticed that, the 3 victims, we called for paramedics to get there on scene, and I advised my partner to try to get witness statements, and I requested additional units pretty much to close down the crime scene and close traffic. Okay, let me show you another exhibit. This will be grand jury exhibit number 6. Do you recognize the person standing there in the pink shirt? There's also an inset photo identifying him as Shermy Villanueva. Did you see that person there that day? Yes, he was one of the victims that got hit. Is this photo, the larger photo, a photo from the scene? Yes, sir. And let me show you another exhibit. This is grand jury exhibit number 7. Do you recognize what's shown in this exhibit? Yes, that is initially when I spoke to him and asked him if he had been struck. Okay, that's the same person then from the previous exhibit yes, sir. In the pink shirt? Yes. Now, my question is, did you see him that day? At scene? Yes. Did you talk to him briefly? Just briefly.